Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome back. It's the Raleigh Qualifiers. We're here in round number 3 in the second qualifier of 4. My name is Jesse Cornpop. Checking on me, one of your casters for tonight. Uzumaki is going to be your other caster. I believe the exclamation point multi should be directed to a stream where you can watch both of us at the same time. We have got a crazy good match for you guys tonight. At least I hope so. Starts us off with the day, we are going to be watching the Pittsburgh Embers take on Elevate, two great orgs inside of Rainbow Six Siege, two orgs that are definitely going to both be looking to make Challenger League next season. Elevate, probably a more well-known name to most people in the scene. They, of course, played in last season's Challenger League. They didn't do as well as people were expecting. A lot of people had a lot of hopes for these guys, and they didn't quite pull it out to the extent that I think a lot of people were hoping for. So now they've got to re-earn their shot. That's not what they're up to right now, of course. Here we're training for Raleigh. We're, of course, trying to get that major spot. So still lots on the line, of course, but Challenger League gonna wait about a month or so before we actually start heading towards that. But for a lot of these teams, right, that's more so the goal, the more realistic goal, at least. The Raleigh spot's gonna be very competitive. You gotta beat Pro League teams, right? It's a long route. But what this can do for you is it really helps you out in terms of preparing for Challenger League. Both these two teams, you expect them to get to know each other over the next couple of months and over the past few months too, because Embers have been on the rise for a while now, and Elevate, of course, have been too. Embers we saw if you were watching the Siege Rivals tournament, Siege Rivals 2 tournament that I helped coordinate and cast. We saw them there, and they did very, very well. Had a crazy good run, including beating teams, including X Accelerate, at the time known as Pojo's Dojo, now known as Team Solo Mid, making it all the way to the semis, having a really good run there. Also really killing it last week in the Raleigh qualifiers. They went second, 6-2 overall. They just lost to Shrug and Leftovers. Both really experienced, really good teams. Certainly not teams you are ashamed to lose to by any stretch of the imagination. So the Embers, they've been good for a long time, and I think people are just sort of starting to wake up on them. Elevate, maybe the opposite. They used to be really good for a long time, and they've been struggling, right? Doesn't mean they're not going to kick back. In the first qualifier, they didn't have a fantastic result. They didn't get a whole lot of points, so definitely right now, if they want to make it to that top 16 bracket to try to compete for Raleigh, they're going to have to come in and they're going to have to earn some more points in the second, third, and fourth qualifier. I believe that the second team, Shrug, the team that won the first qualifier, they're not even playing today. Right, they just took this one off because they did get quite a few amount of points, and that's a team you're really looking out for Challenger League next season as well. Nice thing about Challenger League next season, there's a lot of open spots. There's going to be at least 6 open spots. I would imagine it's only going to be 6, but that's still a ton. Usually there's 4, but 2 of the teams had died, so that opens up to 2 spots. Of course, Ex Noble and Organized Chaos both forfeiting their spots, meaning that there's 2 more open. The qualifiers will fill those. So there's a lot to be excited for in a few next coming months for both of these squads. But right now, of course, they're just playing in the Raleigh qualifiers. We're going to be playing on Clubhouse, and of course, we're here in the new Operation Phantom site, which means a whole lot of new rules, whole lot of new stuff going on right now. Not expecting to get a crazy high view count tonight, because we are, of course, casting at the same time as North American Pro League, of course, the highest level of North American Rainbow Six Siege. So if you're not watching that right now, hey, I appreciate you checking us out here. These players aren't. They got to play. Elevate are good to go. They've got all 5 in the server. Embers have 5 as well. We're just going to let them know when they're good, and we will start the cast. They are good. So, ladies and gentlemen, Clubhouse, the Pittsburgh Embers taking on Elevate GG. Should be a very exciting matchup for you guys. Have fun, have fun, have fun. We are here in the round number 3 of the Raleigh qualifiers. Both of these teams undefeated so far, I do believe. It would be very shocking to me if these teams had lost one. Again, these 2 teams, top competitors inside of the Tier 3, Tier 2 scene. Both teams that are likely to make it into Challenger League next season. So, good stuff going on. We're, of course, on a 3-minute delay, so if there are any issues, please do let me know, and I'll try to fix it as fast as I can, but there might be a bit of a delay before I can get that sorted for you guys. First ban, going to be Thatcher. So, mirroring the Pro League match that was on just a few minutes ago, the Maverick ban is not going to keep in line with that ban. This is going to mean, okay, there has to be a Kaid ban coming here, because this is going to be so difficult to attack in the basement. With both Thatcher and Maverick down, the attackers are really crippled when they're attacking the basement. And the other sites as well are going to be tough to really deal with. I mean, what do you do to get rid of Kaid Claws and Bandit Batteries and Mute Jammers? There goes the Kaid. Thank God. That would have been a match if he had not been banned out. Interesting they would ban both Maverick and Kaid. I guess they don't want Maverick for other reasons. The Embers, right? Probably just thinking that, hey, we don't like dealing with this Blowtorch. And Mira going to be the last one. Pretty standard ban coming out there. Alrighty. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Raleigh Qualifiers. Qualifier, open qualifier number 2, round number 3. It is Elevate versus the Pittsburgh Embers. We are here on Clubhouse. The Embers will be starting on attack. Elevate on defense. They're going to go Church Arsenal. Fozo really wants to be playing ranked right now. Again, new season means new ranked. What do you say? Hackers are out in full force. Hopefully not in this tournament. ESL is usually pretty good at that, though. We don't generally see a lot of hackers here, so that's nice. Thanks, ESL. Anti-cheat. We got a 6-pick coming in. Buck for Twitch is an interesting change-up. Definitely not too similar operators, we'll say that. Soft Destructor in for a bit of a mixed bag. Fair amount of utility. Good for entry fragging. Really good gun, of course. And we know if anybody can tear it up, certainly Grixer can do so. Double Hard Breach being brought by both Fozo and Callouts. And so that's, again, not super surprising. We're here on Clubhouse. You banned out Maverick. You expect to see that. Oftentimes when we look at the basement, we're going to take a look at if any of the defenders are going super aggressive. Last time when we watched Elevate, they struggled a little bit with the aggression. So hopefully this time they can sort something out. I should also mention, Pixel's in my chat talking about it, but the reason he's in the chat and not in the game right now is congratulations to him. He did get picked up for 9-2 Dream Team playing in Pro League later tonight. So, you know, good luck to him in his match. Of course, cannot be playing here with Elevate. They have picked up a new player instead. I believe it is Tranks, who's just joined this roster. Yes, it is, because everybody else was on the roster beforehand. So, Tranks playing with them right now. He could be just trying out. I don't want to say that he's confirmed on the team. He's currently not tagged up, so could be a tryout, could be a stand-in, could be he's on the team already. Tough to say. But we'll see how he plays. It'll be really interesting. Definitely not an unknown player. We've seen him a lot in the Tier 3 scene recently, so hopefully he can do well for this Elevate squad. Elevate them back to their somewhat former heights. We saw Yellow getting kind of aggressive at the top of the blue stairs, and of course, playing on the Jaeger, he didn't want to expose himself for too long. I don't know if he was there at the beginning of the round, but that's a very dangerous spot to be playing at. Nog as well, somewhat pushing his luck with the goo mines, throwing him inside of the dirt tunnel. Probably won't see him taking too many gunfights there, but good to have that early warning signal just in case. Of course, if he's not careful, could find himself in a gunfight with a Jaeger, and that's not a gunfight you really want to take. Saw the evil eye for just a moment, staring at him. Oh, he takes the gunfight now, and again, very, very difficult for him to be able to stay alive. Looks like he came out somewhat on top. Yellow, very, very low HP, maybe about 10 health on him. So, I mean, great for Force to be able to deal that damage. Now that Jaeger is pretty much not a threat. As long as you can just hit one bullet anywhere in the body, you'll be able to win that one. But again, it's risky, right? Because if you lose a Capitao, oh, you're maybe sort of worried, especially when he hasn't used that utility yet. But man, I guess he just hits the shots. Forrest, big plays by him. Fozo, another support player, gonna get one. Can he get two? Oh, almost for free. Spartan offering up a little bit of his leg. Almost had to pay the price for it. That would have been a disaster. Forrest will come here and get a double kill, though. Still pushing down the blue stairs. Somebody will again try to punish him. It was Yellow going for that refrag. Now it's a 2-on-5. Elevate falling apart. Fozo with the double kill as well. And with the crossfire, Fozo gets 3. It's a flawless round from the Pittsburgh Embers. They take it to Elevate here on Clubhouse. And wow, what a dominant start to this game for the Embers. They really are not holding back at the start of this. And, you know, some of that you can certainly attribute if it's not a great game for Elevate. Maybe if Tranks is just a tryout or if he's just a newer player. It does take some time usually for a player to settle into a team, right? Thinking about his death, I believe he was caught from up above Fozo through the kitchen, just through the floorboards, or perhaps through the hatch. Positioning issues, maybe. I mean, that is the struggle with the basement, right? If you're trying to defend underneath the kitchen, and they start soft destructing or they start hard destructing the hatch, it's gonna make it very, very difficult for you to play with those long angles. But That time just not there. Again, I didn't really love the way that Spartan was playing. It's just one of the players that I caught on elevate. Maybe a little bit out of position, took a little bit of damage needlessly. But a couple of those kills, I'm thinking specifically Rich's kill, or his death, when he died peeking against Forrest. That's probably a good peek to take. Forrest is just a god though, so unfortunately, that sometimes doesn't work out for you. Pittsburgh Embers, again, taking it hard. They're going to move up to CCTV Cash, and so makes a lot of sense. This is generally where you expect to see people going. They're likely going to be bringing some sort of hard breach denial every single round because both Maverick and Thatcher are off the board. Going to make it very difficult in this situation to deal with the mute jammers. That risk can be placed everywhere. Chris is going to have 4 of those that he can try to block a whole lot with. I think I like the mute here over the bandit. Of course, you can't go Kaid, just because you can block a whole lot more and you block drones. I think it's probably the right call from mute. Yeah, sacrifice a little bit in terms of guns and stuff, but all in all, mute's still not a bad operator by any stretch of the imagination. Not bringing the shotgun this time. You've of course got Spartan in the smoke to deal with all of that site preparation, and he's hard at work in that situation. You've got a lot of players playing down below, and we've seen this strategy before where they really put a ton of pressure down here inside of the lounge. They'll barricade it up with castle barricades, and they'll keep people in here as long as possible. Now, one of these castle barricades already taken care of, and you can see they're being droned from the back. Nog's gonna deal with that. Yellow, a very risky run across. The pinch is starting to come in on these 2 elevate members. A lot of drones being thrown in. This engagement is going to be so crucial to dictating the rest of the match. And, oh, just lying on the floor. Grixer just runs into him. He gets the both of them. Yellow and Kilo both will fall. And, man, that is not how that roam goes in an ideal situation. Another kill was picked up on a Kilo, so it's at least only a 1-man advantage for the Pittsburgh Embers. But you really need to be careful when that pinch comes down on your downstairs hold with those castle barricades when they start getting taken care of. You've got to really be able to put the pressure on the enemies and understand you're going to have to fight. In that situation, Grixer just lying on the floorboards, using the F2. I think just got the better of him, so unfortunate in that engagement. The roamers have left the anchors all alone here on site. Trank's still holding inside of the garage. Not a bad place for him to be, but now he's burning up and he's got to move. Somebody's watching that angle. Forrest will get credit with a kill. Tactical crossbow claims his life. That leaves 2 defenders now on the board if you're going to do simple math. Holding on top of the eastern stairs, and Spartan inside a cash room. So there's still a lot of time for these attackers to play with. Forced outside with call-out. Fozo sort of coming in for the flank, and Grixer in the garage. So a bit of a 3-pronged attack. You see Fozo starting to open this up the window here. Looking at Spartan still inside of cash. Toxic Babe's going to start to get used now. Again, there's a lot of these castle barricades, but Grixer has some tools to try to use those against the opponents. Open up those castle barricades. Call's running in. He's going to start with this plant. The Toxic Babe gets thrown, but it's not quite in the right location. He does not have any more of those. Still 2 impacts in his sight. Does he know, though? In the meantime, his teammate Rich has landed a headshot on a call-out. The plant was stopped from Forrest. Call-out died, of course. So Forrest was not planting. He takes the gunfight now. Just so much damage to Rich. Should be able to clean that up. Doesn't really matter if he cleans it up or not, because it's all on a Spartan. Not any time for him to pick up his teammate. He needs to win this gunfight versus Grixer, which he will not do. The Embers cleaned up a second round. They're going to go up 2-0 in this best-of-1 series. Tranks is just subbing in. Thank you, Twitch chat. So, Tranks subbing in. They don't know their full roster over on Elevate yet. I know that they did make a looking for team post after that last qualifier. And I joked that somebody had gotten cut. Thankfully, nobody got cut. It was just Pixel getting promoted to Pro League. So, good stuff there. They'll try CCTV Cash again. That one was, of course, much closer than when they defended down in the basement. So I like this decision by them. But it is a little worrying that now they've lost 2 different bomb sites here on Clubhouse. Because, again, this is more so usually a defender-sided map. It's one where we see the defense generally be pretty strong on. This is one where it really depends a lot on the bans, though. In this case, the attackers did get hurt pretty hard. Excuse me. But sort of the defenders, right? So I wouldn't say the bans really favor one side or the other. If the Kaid had not been banned, then certainly. It is what it is. I'm a little bit sick. I thought I could get through this without coughing or sneezing. I'm a lot better than last week. If you tuned into the stream last week, I was just dead. I did 3 games and was really falling apart by the last one. So we called it before we covered the 4th. Today we're only doing 2 games, and I feel a lot better, but not 100%, so we should be fine. The big thing is I do want to see this hold downstairs work better. They're trying it again, which is fine, because we've seen this hold work from other teams. But they just, again, they need to execute it better. When things start going all downhill, oh, okay, they need to adapt. So what Nog is doing is he's running downstairs. He's set up like he's going to be holding inside the lounge. Is Yellow in lounge? Yellow is holding here. So we'll see if Nog comes back, or if he's going to be playing a little bit of an off-roam, like a little bit farther away from Yellow than he was before. Looks like that's going to be the case. He's going to be playing more inside of the blue stair area, whereas Yellow will just hold down the lounge. And again, last time, there was a big push from Grixer and the rest of the guys over on Embers to break open that hold. And again, you can see they're going to be throwing a lot of drones towards it. Fozo's over here, putting a little bit of pressure on. Meanwhile, Callout and Grixer are still working at the bomb site. Kilo as well, coming up for the pinch. So, it's not a full commit to getting rid of Nog and Yellow just yet. And wow, look at actually how far off site they are. Rich is down here as well. I didn't even notice. He's just standing inside of the bar. Spartan and Tranks are the only players still on the bomb site. Even Tranks, not too close. He might be able to find himself in a gunfight. He's going to burn to death again, but will he survive this time? It's the Capitao putting pressure on him, and again, there's a little bit of damage. He does actually manage to down Forrest outside, but ultimately not going to result in the kill. He'll get picked back up from his teammate. That's one man down. A bit of a questionable push from Yellow, just walking outside. Callout's holding the angle. Fozo with a double kill. Picks up a headshot onto Rich, leaving just Spartan and Nog. Nog is rotated back to site. He gets caught in a crossfire. Kilo from the north window. Spartan in a 1-on-5. He'll need to hold a crazy clutch with a minute 30 to go. That does not seem likely to me. Elevate really falling apart in this match. Missing the Toxic Babe. He uses it for cover anyways, but Grixer's rounding the corner and he will land the shots. Fire into the gas. And land a kill. 3-0, and again, it's not looking good for Elevate. You do have to keep in mind this is not a super high pressure match. I'm not saying they're not trying. I definitely do think they're giving it their all here, Elevate. But if there are problems, they have a lot of time to fix it. And Pittsburgh Embers, don't sleep on this team, right? It's not like they're losing to some rando team you've never heard of. Maybe you have never heard of them, but that's on you. That's not on these guys. There's a lot of talent behind this roster, let me tell you. I think Elevate have been fairly unfortunate in the past few months. There's a lot of roster swaps happening on this org. People always, like, on the subreddit and stuff, people always, like, bag on 92 Dream Team for making a lot of roster moves. Elevate makes far more roster moves than 92 Dream Team ever did. You're just comparing last season's Challenger League teams. Which isn't always a bad thing. You know, Space Station Gaming make a roster move every month, and everybody loves that team. You don't hear anybody criticizing that. So it's definitely quality over quantity for roster moves, right? If you make 12 roster moves and they're all the right thing for your team, I would say that that's unlikely, but oops, sometimes that might be what's best for you. So hard to judge roster moves without context. All right, look at this. This is something new from Elevates. They are holding in the basement again. They're trying this for a second time. But they've got 3 bodies on the top floor, so this is a heavy roam in the basement, and it's not, again, something we haven't seen, it's not something we've never seen, but it is uncommon. Usually you'll play this with a little bit more aggressive operators. I've seen this with, like, an Alibi, I've seen it with Vigil. They're going with 3 kind of standard operators. Like, you could play this line down the basement. It could have been, like, a late call, or it could just be that they're not really into those more gimmicky operators. They'll just play with the classics. In either case, this is the strat they're pulling off. Rich has now gone all the way back down to the bomb site, so clearly he was not super committed to it. I like the adaptation. You did see a lot of people inside of the dirt tunnel, and they're actually rushing down here. Callout's going to pick up 2 kills. We're in a 3-on-3 as soon as his teammates died as well, just pre-firing that dirt tunnel. Great play by Tranks. Great coordination from his teammates here. We've got 2 attackers still alive, and I bet they're going to try to slow this down. It was a rush into the bomb site. Not a super well executed one, though. The kill we saw from Tranks, very impressive. Just understanding they're going to be rushing through the dirt tunnel. May as well just go for it. Grixer has retrieved the diffuser. Would like to find a kill here. This would be huge for him. If Tranks peeks his head up again and tries to take that gunfight, that's big for Grixer. He wants that gunfight to happen. Tranks really does not need to die here. Especially with Bozo going down. Impact grenade actually really well hit. half the HP onto Grixer. You don't often see an impact do that much damage. Grixer now in 1-on-3. He's got the F2, so this isn't impossible, but since they know where he's at, he's using that red dot too. I don't know if that's the play. He'll step in a goo mine, and there's Tranks. Great play by him. If he's just a substitute player, maybe you should consider joining the roster. Of course, just one round, but still, I think really well played by him. Just standard stuff, you know, holding down the flank, but a lot of players might have gotten a little bit too aggressive in that situation. So finally, Elevate will take a round. Grixer, very proud of him. I would like to remind people, even the players, we are in Operation Phantom Sight, so there's a lot of new stuff on the board. Not only Grizzlock and Mozzie, but also Lion available for play. And we've seen nothing so far from these qualifiers, from what I've casted. I've casted 4 matches now, and I've seen none of the new operators get played. I watched 2 matches of Pro League, and most of them were played. We saw a ton of Lion getting played by Rogue in the first 2 games of Pro League. And we saw Mozzie getting played by a lot of people, so it's curious that the pros are seemingly picking up these operators maybe a little bit faster than the Tier 2 and Tier 3 scene. I think it's just a bit of a freedom to experiment, right? If you consider yourself one of the best rosters in the game, maybe feel a little bit, you've got less to work on, right? You can spend time thinking up new strats because your old strats are already so solidified. I'm sure especially Elevate with their roster move, they've been quite busy. Perhaps not quite in the mood to experiment with the new rosters yet. But not getting banned either, so. Curious and curious. We can take a look at this bomb site. Just because of the operator Rich is on and I saw a window was opened up, he may have been going for like a spawn peek of some sort. Also could have just been throwing a black eye outside. That happens sometimes. He'll definitely not be doing anything too aggressive just yet. Now, they're not defending here on CCTV Cache. It's Gym Bedroom. They've made the call to go into the 3rd bomb site for round number 5, which is probably a good call. Just try something new. I mean, if it had been CCTV and you won it, you'd have to go to Gym anyways. So I like this. Just try to switch things up. Yellow will get pushed outside of Cache, but again, you can try to challenge this angle, and Rich will actually walk in and get a headshot on a Forest. He's been very good this game, so a kill on him, especially with so much utility in his pocket, it's going to be a really big deal. The rest of the Embers now need to try to make it through without those fire bolts and with significantly fewer smokes. In fact, no smokes. So a plant strategy might be a little bit less viable in this situation. They're gonna just have to go get kills, and that's what Grixer is doing. Through the window, he'll be able to find Nog, but Tranks answers back with a headshot on a call-out. Makes it a 3-on-4, and again, Grixer's still pretty lit, so it is almost a 4-on-2. But the F2 in the hands of a good player can be almost worth losing a man. Droning into the site now. Fozo outside, just picking up the diffuser. Ooh, that's actually a really great angle being held by Rich. Totally caught Fozo off guard, hiding inside of logistics. And he might go for a second with this angle, just through the soft wall. He's firing off his gun. Hey, maybe he'll hit something. Not a bad bet. You've still got a lot of time to waste as the defenders. Oh, and just misguessing where somebody might be playing. Sometimes you got to take those gambles. Grixer, it does not pay off for him. Leaves his teammate Kilo in a 1-on-4. And a pretty dire situation. I think Elevate have got to be happy about now if they're able to chain 2 of these rounds together. Kilo taking his time. It's not unwinnable, don't get me wrong. Kilo, despite his common nickname, Kilo is bad. More of a deceptive name than anything. Quite a misnomer. Not a bad player at all. And saw that with a free kill on a Tranks. Caught a little bit off guard. He's wasted a lot of time just to get that 1 kill though, and so he's going to really have to put the pedal to the metal and start fragging off soon here. He's got no more lifelines as he just used both of his last 2. 13 seconds on that clock, and you hear the music start to get intense. It's Rich who's able to hit a headshot from I don't even know where at. Well played by him though. Oh, look at this dirty punch roll. Yeah, that's a tough one to walk into, let me tell you. Oh, there was no chance. Ooh. Rich with the angles in that round. Really creative play by him. I like it a lot. Elevate with the two being able to chain them back to back. That looks pretty good for them here. Now they got to go to CCTV cash, and they have failed this one back to back as well. In rounds 2 and 3, they couldn't quite get a hold on this bomb site. There is no castle being brought, so thought they might 6-pick into it. That signals to me they're totally abandoning that strategy where Nog was holding down below with Spartan. More likely, with Yellow, excuse me. They're going to completely throw that to the wayside. Probably just play it a little bit more traditional. I think that's probably a good call. I mean, again, it's not like the craziest play ever to hold with a castle inside a lounge. And Tranks is actually still putting up the deployable shield. I do wonder if they're going to maybe put somebody down there. Maybe Tranks just didn't get the message that they aren't playing castle. They're not doing that strat. I don't know, because you probably wouldn't play somebody down here committed to the lounge, right? If you're not bringing the castle, that'd be interesting. And it's not like that deployable shield wouldn't be useful in it either. Put it on B somewhere. Deployable shield could certainly help you out in there. You could put it in garage. We used to see that a lot more than we do now, but at the moment, deployable shield sits alone. Rich will come and keep company. The rest of the operators mostly just still setting up the bomb site. Likely to see Tranks inside of garage again. If you're playing with a sub again, you don't tend to see a huge variation in their play unless it's a call made by somebody else. It is Yellow who's now playing with this, and Rich is actually off on an adventure. He's in the western hallways just outside the strip club. He'll move his way into there now. There's nobody here, and this is generally a run-out spot. He's playing on the Valkyrie, which makes it even more likely. You've already used your utility, and that utility can really help you in terms of getting those run-out picks. So no doubt somebody is calling this to him. Yes, he is. Spartan relaying the information to Rich. Rich is going to go for it. Walks outside. Sees the Bonna hole. Hasn't committed just yet. He's got the pings from his team. And with those pings coming out, likely the enemy are going to know that, hey, we're being pinged. We're probably about to be run out on. But at the moment, there's not really a huge reaction. Either way, Rich backs off. And so an aggressive play. No harm, no foul. He'll just safely retreat back to his teammates. Ooh. Did not necessarily know that there was somebody right on the other side of that window. Fozo will look on in. Bit of a wake-up call for him. Realize that somebody is running through the bar. Rich is long gone at this point, though. Yellow about to find himself an engagement. Hiding in the basement, though. He could make it out of here. Gotta worry about that guy up above him. It is call out. Call out, no idea that Yellow is just below him. Oh, and this could be a free kill. Oh, but he just guesses incorrectly. Unfortunately for Yellow, call out will keep his life and just ignores it. Says, hello, there's Trank sitting up inside the garage. And he's going to take that kill. He's going to now drop on down just in case that person who was below him thinks he can get cute. Yellow having none of it. Ooh, it'll be Nog engaging in a gunfight. A little bit of a missed kill by him. Call it with 2 now under his belt and about half of his HP gone. Seems like Elevate have really been struggling to hold on to this bomb site. I like their adaptation. Every single round they've done something different, right? They're not just banging their heads against a wall. It's a sign of a good team. It's just the execute hasn't really been there. Spartan in cash, Rich in construction, and Yellow on the top of these stairs. Call out still sitting with a 2K in this round. Ace potential for him. Going off on the fragmite. You see Kilo walking inside the garage. Could be able to push in a bomb site, but he has just gotten on his drones. He'll have to get off as he's being gassed out by Spartan. Where are the other guys? Still mostly droning him. And again, you've got a lot of manpower to attack on this bomb site. Still 5 alive. Call it will run in for the plant, but Spartan's got his number. That smoke not covering exactly what it needed to be, and Yellow will find a second frag because of it. Kilo been downed, and that C4 doesn't connect, but hey, Yellow sure does. A double kill for him, and whoa, pushing towards the window. Yellow with 3. Yellow comes in clutch, and Elevate take round number 6. They should not have won that one. The attackers had everything going for them, but hey, sometimes you just hit your shots. Everybody ran in, and really, I think some misplay from Forrest in terms of the Capitao usage. Really looked like Call thought he was going to be safe running on into the bomb site, but he was not. Elevate chain 3 in a row. We're back to a tie game. So we start CCTV cache. Differences in the lineup. The Buck, of course, being brought by Nog. It's probably the biggest difference. Buck could be good to attack both the upstairs and downstairs site. It gives you an answer, right? You don't have a Thatcher, you don't have a Maverick. Dealing with these mute jammers, dealing with these bandit batteries on the CCTV wall, it's going to be really, really difficult if you don't have a Buck or some other way to deal with that. So likely Nog is going to be trying to deny that utility. Otherwise, it's pretty much identical lineup for the attackers, and for the defenders, we've seen all these operators as well. Not a lot of bandit play from Elevate. Again, this is sort of playing into the bans, right? You got 4 shock wires, and you've got 4 mute jammers as well. Like, that's a ton of hard breach denial. If you try to just juggle that on the CCTV wall, that wall could probably stay up for a long, long time if Nog has nothing to say about it down below. I've seen this before. This is always a weird one. You put up the doorway between CCTV and the east stairs, and then you prep it. And it's so interesting. I don't really know what the purpose of it is. It's maybe beyond me, but I guess it just sort of separates the eastern stairs right from your hold. So if somebody's pushing up there, it gives you a bit of an advantage, but you can still fire through it, and it's something you can, if you have the information on, you can maybe use that to your advantage. But Callout's on the other side of it, so I have no idea. Maybe it's just to protect Callout, you know? Somebody starts to push on in. They're not going to frag him out. You know who is going to frag out? Nog. Headshot onto Grixer as they seem to be making a construction take. At least that's where Yellow and Nog both are. Rich is up top. Yeah, this is definitely looking like a construction take. So, first time we've seen this. Of course, not something that the Embers ever really tried. If it ain't broke, don't fix it, though. They only lost this attack on their last opportunity. Oh, man, this is a really good angle. C4 from Forrest. Right through the window. Yellow could see it, but there's nothing he can do about it. He's going to get blown to smithereens, and we're back to an even man count. Oh, again, you got to be so careful, Fozo. Rich has got your number. You just test that angle one too many times, and you're going to have to pay for it. However, Rich at the same time, testing his own angles, he has to pay as well. The attackers now find themselves in a 3-on-3 situation. Nog takes a lot of damage. He decides to drop on down. Is there somebody down here? It looks like they think there is. Kilo's been down in cash. There's actually nobody on that first floor, so maybe it's a rotation coming in from these guys. We still see Tranks inside of construction. Spartan back here as well. Nog now looking at these stairs, so they'll slow it down for a minute. Kilo did manage to pick back up, so he's alright. For the time being, he will survive. Nog again on very little HP, but still trucking through the lounge. Going down below, this is what I was talking about to deal with the bandit batteries and stuff. Ultimately, not super necessary. But he'll start working on it now. Usually you'd like that to happen like earlier in the round. That mute jammer's still up, so Nog is still going to have to do a little bit more work to take care of it. Has he done it? Yes, he has. Tranks now starts to open that on up, and Spartan this whole time just holding the angle. Texan Dynamite successfully explodes. Nog still needs to stay alive. One bullet gets thrown towards him. I mean, I guess his job is ultimately done at this point. Oh, he'll come out on top. A double kill for him. Kills Forrest. Kilo with another one going down. So that's going to be just call out the smoke. Oh, shotgun in hand, though. Perfectly heard, but Nog will not be. The one health warrior walks up the stairs and puts call out to bed. Good night. Elevate continue their streak. That's 4 in a row from them. They find themselves up 4-3. We got a game on our hands, folks. Church Arsenal will be the next place that we head, and of course, in terms of operator differences, probably going to be a 6-pick here, right? I don't know if you'd leave, but I guess you can't pick up a Kaid. Maybe not. No, I guess not. Rich will, of course, over on Elevate. Just seemed like a very similar lineup to last time, so I thought, hey, they're going to pull something out of the hat. Looks like they're content, though. They're not bringing the Mute this time. They're bringing the Legion. And I believe that is the only difference. Coming out from Grixer. And then for the attackers, they're going with the exact same lineup. Elevate. Aren't going to know exactly where they're headed. You can go either way if you're the Embers. Downstairs or upstairs. Anything but bars. Sort of the motto of Coastline. So we saw this hold a couple different ways from Elevate when they were here. We saw a traditional hold at first where everybody sort of stayed in the basement. And then we saw everybody just running around up top, and that actually worked a lot better. Or at least had 3 guys who were running around up top. I think more so, though, that wasn't like an ingenious defense by Elevate. It was sort of Pittsburgh failing a rush into the bomb site. There was some good play coming out from Tranks and the other anchors to be able to hold that down. And I will say, right, the reason why a rush was probably called from the Embers is because they had 3 players upstairs. So it was crucial that at least 2 members of Elevate had gone down to the basement to respond to that push, the rush that was coming in. So never mind, ignore what I said. It was actually a really good play by Elevate. Really good adaptation. It wasn't the hold that was good, but it was the adaptation that came from the hold. Something you don't see from inexperienced teams. Elevate, though, they've just chained 4 rounds in a row, but they're not getting cocky. They're still taking their time. They're going to drone out these upstairs areas. They're still being cautious because they know the Embers. They can pull stuff out of the hat. This is a good team, right? Kilo at the moment, he's watching out for players, but I believe he's also still down in the basement. Yeah, he's just sitting in utility. Forrest is down here. Grixer's down here. He's going for the impact tricks. So everybody at the moment safe and sound in the basement in the defense. The attackers, though, they just want to be sure, right? The last thing you want is just for Kilo to be sneaking up on your backside and you don't know it until there's 15 seconds left in the round. You're going for a push. That's a bad sign. That's when you know you're in for a bad time. Getting control of Blue's going to be pretty crucial. That's Yellow's goal right now, and not an easy goal at that. He's going to basically have to take a gunfight with Kilo. Hope he can win it. Nog will win 1. Through the floorboards? I believe it was on a Grixer. Denying that impact trick on a hatch. That's going to be really crucial for Spartan. He's got 1x Kairos left and 1x with thermic charge on Trank. So do not believe it's open just yet. Doesn't look like it. So whoever comes around will be able to open that. They have a much higher chance of success with those impacts taking off the board. It's actually already been opened, so never mind. Fozo's going to get his team's first kill in a while. And Nog could find himself caught off guard if he's not looking at the right angles. One of those toxic babes going to be utilized. Spartan will start to open up some more of this floor. A lot of soft destruction over on the side of Elevate. A lot of rotations happening right now. They're getting ready for this execute. They've had their time to prep. They've gotten their 1 entry frag. They've lost 1 in tune. They just want to be as ready as possible. Looks like Nog wasn't quite as ready as he needed to be. Spartan's just going to charge on in. There's no way he wins that. Oh, bearing 9 right into the noggin of call-up. That's actually crazy good. Oh, he hits a second one. Spartan. What was that? Just charging to the bomb site. There's his third. That one a little bit less impressive, but still a triple coming from him. The quadra. Whoa, Spartan bringing it home. Elevate just get 5 rounds in a row. Popping off on Habana. That was something to behold. Let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! Elevate cannot be stopped. Just as we were saying, they weren't looking too good. They've really turned this one around. And now it's the Embers who just... I don't think the Embers have been playing horribly. I think they just have had a couple of rounds where they're choking against good players over on the side of Elevate. And there have been some really good performances from players in Elevate. Finally, it looks like we will see... Oh, never mind. We're going to have a rehost. Away she goes, unfortunately. But hey, what can you do? We're going to get everybody back into the server. They had an issue. They called for the rehost. Tough to say if it's really a rehost or perhaps they're just wanting a timeout over on the side of the Embers. Either way, they do get a rehost, so... they're going to use it now. We're going to move the server around. And at the moment, man, Spartan's got his Elite Habana. You might be able to hear it right now. You probably can. My face is in the way, so you can't see it. But impressive stuff. Look at the stat line. Spartan 9-3 at the moment in the first 9 rounds of that. That's an average of 1 kill per round. That's very good. Rich was 6 and 5 as well, so a very good stat line by him. Do give me a moment here as I start to invite the rest of these guys back into the server. Looks like Fozo is currently out of game, so Yeah, probably was like a serious issue for them then. We'll get him in as soon as we can. In the meantime, I want to set this match up. So again, please do give me a moment. Who did we have banned? We had Thatcher, we had Maverick. On the defense, we had Kaid and Mira. I do hope everybody's having a wonderful Monday. It's, of course, North American Pro League season number 1. Or season number 10, Playday number 1. Tonight, as well as European Playday. Didn't get to watch that one, I was at work, but hey. Alright, so where did we play? We played Church for the first one. CCTV. CCTV. Church Gym, CCTV. And let's see if Fozo's ready for the... No, he's still just online. CCTV Church were our 2 rounds in the second half. But I hope everybody's been enjoying those games. Pretty low viewer count tonight for our stream here, but that's, again, to be expected with Pro League going on. Blue, 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 and then it's been nothing but orange since round number 4. Technical difficulties might be a blessing for the Embers because, again, I think they'll enjoy this break. They're going to take a moment to get back into the server. And again, a crazy play. Chat's just reacting to it now, of course, because we're on a 3-minute delay, but a crazy play coming from Spartan in that last round. A 4K for him to be able to close it out for Elevate and continue their dominant winning streak. I mean, the Embers, they've been struggling. Fozo's now offline. Hopefully he can let me know when he's good. But yes, I haven't checked the score on the 3rd and 4th game. Dark Zero versus Susquehanna Sonics is supposed to be happening. Where are they at indeed? Let's check though with this Pro League. In case there's like anybody out there who's watching my stream and not the Pro League stream right now, I'm imagining the 30 people in here have just got like one open on one stream and one open on the other. Elevate our oh, yeah, we got Kilo added, so hopefully we can get most of the squad into the game. Invite him to the match. Elevate Embers. Did I spell something wrong? I hope my stream isn't wrong as well. It will. Fozo's saying his computer pooped itself. So, we'll wait for him to get back in. Hopefully it won't take him too long. What was I doing? I was checking this. They're interviewing the Dark Zero guys right now, so I'm assuming Dark Zero beat the Susquehanna Sonics over in Pro League. Don't know what the score was on that, but congrats to them. Unfortunate if you're a Sonics fan. Yeah, they're still just having some issues there. So we've got 4 inside the server, including Forrest, who was apparently the one that needed to restart his PC. If you are just joining us, we're in the middle of a match. We have been watching Embers versus Elevate in round number 3 of the second Open Raleigh Qualifier, and the team Elevate, they've been on a tear. They've just gone 5 rounds in a row to make it a 5-3 scoreline. They are going to be attacking on Clubhouse when we get back. But yes, we'll see how the rest of these qualifiers are going. I can up you guys on some of the rankings right now. That's something to fill the time. Of course, Shrug, the previous winners, are not competing in this one. They decide they've gotten enough points. And is there nobody undefeated? There's nobody undefeated who's 3-0. There's a lot of still undefeated. Riot Squad, they did quite well last time. Some unknown names, at least to me, in that team. Katsu, a very good team. Dream Chasers, Aethris, one of the Mexican teams. The Embers, and of course, Elevate here, both 2-0. So some good teams. Zakwe as well, also 2-0. Katsu, the team I just mentioned. Abanai, Habibi, 6, Timsy, some players you might recognize there. Zakwe, ZQWE, I'm sure they just slammed their fist on the keyboard. Anthony MGS, Dot Dash, Subarctic, Wimpy. And now Grixer's not on wire. Oh, folks, this might take a minute. I do apologize. That was a great time to go get a drink or something because, again, the Pro League match has paused for the moment. They're waiting for game number 4, and we're still here inside of a rehost. So, yeah, we're just chilling at the moment. If you're just joining us, wondering what's going on, have there been any upsets so far in this qualifier? Intero's Disciples beat Elusive. Perhaps that's an upset. Who's on Intero's Disciples though? Nobody that I've heard of. Maybe I've heard of Xeno. Not sure. But Elusive did quite well in the last qualifier, so perhaps that's an upset. Leftovers 1-1 as well. That's a team full of Pro League players or former Pro League players. I don't know who they had lost to. They played versus Aethris and lost that match. So that's a pretty prominent team in the Mexican scene. We have seen them perform quite well in terms of go-fors and stuff. It's unfortunate there really haven't been a whole lot of Mexican teams to make it in terms of like these qualifiers. Raleigh quals, or like just major quals in general, or Challenger League qualifiers. We haven't really seen a good Mexican team make a strong run at Challenger League or anything in the Tier 3 scene. So good that they're starting to get some games. Aethris at the moment, 2-0. Twitch chat, how are your games going? I'm guessing that most people watching right now are also players inside of this tournament. So if you guys are on teams, interested in how you're playing and what team you're on. Pixels left my chat, likely because his game is starting. I'm assuming he left. He hasn't talked in a while. Again, he's going to be playing for 92 Dream Team over on Rainbow Six. Just twitch.tv/Rainbow6. That'll be a good match, I hope. Two of the lower Pro League teams, but still two of my favorite Pro League teams, to be honest with you. TSM now, known as TSM, former Accelerate, up against 92 Dream Team. Challenger League winners last season. Came up from 4th place through the playoffs and did very well in the latter half of the season to secure that spot. We've got 4 in the server now for the Embers. Again, we're just waiting on them to get back. All settled in. This could be good or it could be bad for the Embers, right? You think it could be good, this whole long break for them. It could be good that they get themselves a moment to stop the game, right? They were on a 5-round losing streak. You maybe just need to hit pause in that situation and get their head back into it. It could also be bad because this whole time, they've been stressing about, can we get our player back on? They haven't just been thinking strategy this whole time. They've been dealing with a lot of stuff technically. So now their mind's frazzled with that. One of their players wasn't on wire, so they had to go deal with that. Oh man, it was challenging. Now they're gonna go play ranked. But otherwise, I do hope that we can get in things soon. If you're not watching him yet, you just type in exclamation point multi. You can watch Uzumaki and I at the same time. Check out my official Rainbow Six water bottle. I think this is Rainbow Six Pro League Year 3 water bottle. Any good teams undefeated or any questionable teams undefeated? There's a lot of teams that are undefeated right now, I guess, since we're just in round number 3. We've only played 3 games. I'm being told that Fozo's game has uninstalled itself. That's unfortunate. Fozo, no! He's now messaging me on Discord. Whenever he gets in, they're ready. They're going to 4v5 until he reinstalls. Elevator questioning this. Hey, we might be, oh, they can't go 4v5, I don't believe. Man, oh man. Now we're arguing about the rules. Control effing 4. It's not helpful. I think we're going. Elevator good. Alright. We're just going to go 4v5. Embers, of course, down a man because one of their players' PC uninstalled the game. That is, that's a tough time. Especially tough because you're down 3-on-5, or 3v5. Nope, 3-2-5. We got it there eventually. You're 4-on-5. And, yeah, it's just been bad luck after bad luck for the Embers. They've got a maximum of 4 more rounds to claw this back. They're going to have to bring it all the way to round number 12 if they want to try to win this match. And again, it's going to be very difficult playing with only 4 members of your team. They'll go CCTV. They did start here as well, and this is, of course, a bomb site that they lost once. They went to church. They lost it as well. And, yeah, Pixel floats around. I mean, I believe you, but he's also playing in a Pro League match right now. So I don't think he's going to be back. Unless he's, like, not playing in that match for some reason. But he's on the roster. I don't know why he wouldn't be. Unlike Bolo. So 4 defenders, and who have they brought? I don't know if I necessarily agree bringing the Doc. When you only have 4 operators, Doc's sort of like a utility-less operator. He doesn't really have utility. I mean, the stim pistols, they're there, I guess. That's technically utility. It just doesn't really help you in terms of anything other than just winning your gunfights better or keeping you safe if you lose them. So I just think you would go that operator rather than bring something that you otherwise might be lacking. Heal goes for a very ballsy blackout, perhaps, or black eye. That might be a tool that Forrest can use to go for a run out. Callout's also somewhat upstairs, but he's not really in position to go for anything, and also on the mute. So, I mean, you're bringing a Doc here, but you're not bringing a Maestro, which is almost a direct upgrade. You're not bringing a Smoke. You're not bringing an Echo, which hasn't been banned. It's somewhat questionable that you would bring this operator. Even the Jaeger. I feel like a Jaeger when you're 4-on-5 is pushing it. Yeah, I mean, I do believe that he actually, like, had uninstalled his game. There'd be no reason for him to, like, lie and make his team play 4v5. Instead of uninstalled on restart. But hey, what can you do? Very bad luck for Fozo. The moment all of his teammates are alive, so that's good. They haven't increased their numbers deficit. Again, it looks like it might be a construction push. That's what it was last time for Elevates, and it worked quite well. This time, they're already a man up. They brought Rich on the IQ. I believe this is a change-up from what they had before. Gonna make just Nog's job a little bit easier. He was pretty successful last time, to be honest. The 1-health warrior getting, I believe, a 3K on very little HP, playing from down below and then coming up the east stairs. This time, he's right there in construction with the best of them. Takes a lot of damage from a C4, actually. That's a tough spot to be in. He could be able to throw in his next one. His teammate Rich is going to land a kill on a Forest, and there's somebody creeping. Oh, man. Rich actually has seen almost everybody vaulting into the garage. That's going to be Kilo, and escaped with his life maybe one too many times. It's a little bit unfortunate in that situation. Grixer not able to land either of those kills. Now Kilo watching an angle that nobody's going to be pushing through anytime soon. That's a free kill for Grixer if he's paying attention, but just a little bit slow with the trigger finger. Now he's watching for the second person to try to run in. Well, this plant starts to go down. Again, you still got Kilo inside the garage, looking for his player outside of the window, but it'll be Rich with a double kill. He just jumps into the window, pistol in hand, can't land a third, but it doesn't matter. His teammates are there. Spartan and Rich both get one apiece. Elevate continue their streak, 6-3. Match point, I'm going to have to assume that this is likely to be the end of it. The Embers down a man, forces on Frost. Yeah, we're in a time. Oh, thankfully, he's 6 picked off of one of the worst operators to another one of the worst operators. Rich is going over to Ash. All right. All right. Well, let's at least hope that Forrest can go for a crazy play and make some stuff happen. I do appreciate that we're off of the dock. That's just a pet peeve of mine. I think a lot of people's, actually. I will say, I know it's 4v5. I know they've lost 6 rounds in a row. I know that the team morale is probably not super high for the Embers. However, all things considered, this is not the biggest throw. Because when you're in a situation like this, everything's been going against you. You've got the zero momentum, right? You've got negative momentum almost. In fact, yeah, negative momentum. You've got nothing going for you. Why not just throw something random at the wall? Maybe you can chain 4 rounds in a row because of it. And sometimes that's a big Kavira play. Like, Kavira's definitely a throw operator, but if she works, man, that can be a momentum swing. So I'm not super against this move from Forrest. I'll just say that. I don't think it's like unsportsmanlike throwing. I think he's legitimately trying something here. Kilo with such an aggressive angle as well. You know, just get the ball rolling, try stuff. Worst case scenario, you were probably going to lose anyways. So there's very little risk in a play like this. We're just going to watch Forrest this whole time, I think. Unless he gets boring. He's currently creeping up the central stairs. We can go check if anybody's up there. Doesn't look like there is. Maybe Rich, depending on where he's at. Kinda, not really. Nog as well. You saw him hiding. Now Forrest has moved his way in a bar, and now he's close to people. Okay, that's definitely a potential kill on a Rich, who's just on the front porch, going to make his way into the stage. Forrest lying in wait. Unfortunately, Rich is droning. Is he going to drone all the way into bars, though? That's the question. Oh, no. Oh, that's the end. That's unfortunate. Forrest, it didn't work. He runs over the hills. You just saw it poke up on your screen. Rich saw it too. Sad days. And the unmistakable face paint of Kavira. That's, you know. Kilo gonna try and save the day. Unfortunately, nobody is over there for him to try to save on. Give him this. We're halfway through the round, and everybody on the Embers who's in the server is still alive. Rich is actually taking a bit of damage. He actually loses the gunfight. Force will just finish him off. There's no way he's going to be able to get that interrogation off. Probably smart by him, but he's even the scoreline out. Losing with the down, an impact grenade to get the kill. So, 4 on 4. Elevate still need to play this carefully, and now I think the mood's going to change a little bit. Now you're no longer at that deficit. Kilo definitely going to stop with those aggressive plays. You kind of still have to if you're Forrest because you're on the Kavira. And, whoa, there he is! Comes around, Nogs on Repel. Forrest with a double kill and a really smart run out by him there, too. Just pokes his head out. Grixer's going to get a kill up top. Spartan eventually goes for the trade. These attackers, they're starting to move their way in, but I think at this point, the damage from Forrest might just be too much. Spartan's in a position where he could go for the plant, but downstairs, Call It will finish off Yellow. He's all alone now, and he won't do it. The anchors finish off what Forrest had started in the Embers. Finally get around after losing 6 in a row. A man down. The Kavira play, I told you it's not a throw. I like it. I like it a lot. is it going to be enough? What does Forrest go? Does he do it again? Likely to be a 6 pick if he does. Do it. Come on, Forrest. Come on, Forrest. He's thinking about it. You know he's thinking about it. He's hovering over Kavira right now. Ah. All right. Don't hate this, of course. You've gotten the ball rolling. Now you're going to take it serious. That's what Forrest is thinking. He's thinking, all right, am I going to gamble that that's going to work twice, 3 times, or 4 times? Or am I going to take the momentum I've gained from the last round, use it as confidence, and play like a real game, and play the way that I've practiced, that I know how? He's going to go for the latter of those 2 options. A less exciting one, perhaps, but I don't think a bad one. You've got Kilo again. I mean, this is a very standard setup. If you only got 4 operators, I think these are good operators to be taking. You're lacking a little bit in the frags. Grixer's holding an Alda. Not really, actually. You've got a Jaeger up, too. You've got your hard destruction denial. Are they still going to go in for something aggressive, though? This is a bit curious. Yes, they are. Oh, man. 3 spawn peaks. All of them will get off except for Kilo, who goes for the run out and evens the score immediately. This just might be what it takes. It's you're being 4-on-5. Hey, you may as well do everything in your power to make it a 4-on-4. That way you're still on even ground. But you've got to do so much just for this. Nog dying's a huge one. Of course, that's your frag grenade's gone. That's a lot of soft destruction, but you do still have, of course, yellow. Ooh, but he didn't bring the breaching shards. He brought the claymore. You've actually not got a lot of soft destruction now. I mean, the lifelines can do a little bit, but you need a lot of soft destruction on this bomb site. This is actually kind of difficult. Yellow's going to have to somehow, I mean, do his best to open up as much as he can. But the rest of them aren't going to do a whole lot here, right? Might be a situation where you just use an X-Kairos or something to open up more of the soft floor. Sounds crazy, I know, but I think you can consider it, right? Especially with Kaid gone. There's no impacts on the other side. Nope. And you see what Yellow has to resort to. Just left-clicking the floor. I mean, this is to get the camera, but still. And just open like a hole you can hold. That would be much easier if you had a buck. That's 1 click if you got a buck. Oh, wow. Rich moved over to the Nomad, and so this is an operator that we've seen have some success. Not at all today. We haven't really seen it used today. Yellow peeking his way down. He can hear something going on down here. Of course, Grixer setting up one of those deployable shields. Spartan now rotating over towards the dirt tunnel. They managed to get the kitchen hatch open pretty easily. Not really a good way to deny that on the defensive side. Grixer deals a little bit of damage on a Rich. That's going to help him out, but Tranks is there. I think it's the trade. Grixer, no chance for him. Firing softball almost got Forrest. Will he be able to land the kill? His legs are in the way, and Forrest actually comes out on top, finding the head somehow in that mess of limbs. Up through the kitchen hatch, he will be rewarded with a kill. However, down through the dirt tunnel, Spartan will be able to land a kill on a Kilo. And a second one, Spartan. Oh, where have I seen this before? Running through dirt tunnels, Spartan getting a lot of kills. Yeah, that's a story I've seen happen in the past, and it works out quite well for him. Force the last man to keep his team in this matchup. 6v4 is the current scoreline. He's about to walk into an angle. Poor boy. Elevate take it in round number 11. They got 1 just for fun, but ultimately Elevate in a 5-on-4 will close out the match. Successful game for them, and they will remain undefeated 3-0 at the moment. This is a team that, again, struggled a little bit in the last qualifiers, so a good start from them. Definitely unlucky, as being said by the members of Elevate. Definitely unlucky for the Embers, but it's what happens sometimes, and hey, that's the game. Nothing you can really do about it. It happens, as Kilo will tell you. That's going to be it for us. It was a long game thanks to those rehosts, but we're going to be casting another one after this. It'll be the last match of the night. Throw it to some music, and we'll see you soon. So don't go anywhere. That's happening next.